It's a whistly driver, that, isn't it?
Mine did that.
I know. And my backswing doesn't move fast enough to do it.
You'll get there.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Club Fitting Roulette, Michael rolls on.
We're back.
The freight train rolls on.
I love it.
We had our third, it was a typo from us, a mistake from us, guys. We don't make many of them, but we made a mistake. We thought last week when we done our Club Fitting Roulette, we thought that was our fourth, but it was actually our third.
Yep.
Those of you who are eagle eye and have been following the series, you will know that. So this technically is our fourth today with Mr. Shaun Bisson. Shaun, nice to see you.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
You've made a reasonable drive to get here from around the Sarnia area?
Yeah, Petrolia, about 2.5 hours to get here.
Okay, good old drive. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Shaun, a little bit about your sort of golf game and sort of what part of the bag, ideally, you would like the roulette wheel to fall on today.
Certainly, I'm a lower handicap player. I'm a little bit inconsistent with my game. I think you'll see that once we start hitting some balls here. Largely due to the fact that I got 3 kids under 6. So getting out is few and far between. Practicing is even further between. But yeah, decently long, hit everything fairly well. It's just one of those things where I could stand for a little bit more consistency throughout the bag. Putter, my 3-wood's a little bit older, so we'll see what we can do.
I certainly empathise with the young kids. I've got 2 young kids of a similar age and then a slightly older kid that I have to look after as well. So the 3 kids that you have to look after, it's not easy, I get that. So, yeah, what's sort of in the bag? Like, I can see a whole lot of Titleist in there.
Yeah,
Is that something you've always kind of, a brand you've always had an affinity towards?
It's always worked really well for me. My dad was a teaching professional, and from as young as I can remember, he was a Titleist guy, so I've been fairly loyal to them. I have gone Callaway irons before. I've played tour prototypes for a little bit. TaylorMade, especially for the woods. I really like the SLDR. But right now I'm in the TSR3 for the driver, 620 MBs for the irons, SM10 wedges, and a Scotty putter.
That's a player set.
That's one you don't gamble with on the course. Yeah, someone shows up with MBs.
Rocks up with that. Fantastic. Okay, well let's spin the wheel. Let's see what we've got.
Tech.
I tell you, revolutionary.
Oh,
how do you feel about driver?
Let's do it. I'm game.
Okay, TSR3, obviously a great driver. This whole series is about challenging us as fitters to, really, can we beat what you've got? I think this will be a really, really good one in that we know how good TSR3 is. For some people, there's been very minimal gains with GT. Others, there's been more. I think I've definitely seen, I've seen a good gain. Would you say you've seen a smaller gain from TSR3?
Yeah.
I would say in playing with you, I don't know if I've really noticed a big difference for you yet.
No, not yet. There's been a couple where you're like, okay, that's quite good off the miss.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nice transition anyways. So.
Yeah, definitely nice transition. Well, why don't you grab it? Let's talk through the specs of your TSR3 there, Shaun. 9 degree. I had a quick peek at the C1 setting. Yep. Is that because you like to hit a kind of a bit of a cut, or is it because you're trying to stop the ball kind of spinning up too much?
I like to eliminate the left-hand side of the course, so I don't mind if I miss it right. Obviously, nobody wants the 50-yard banana slice, but eliminating the left-hand side of the course for me is big. And then my irons also play 2 degrees flat, so having it in a bit of a flatter setting for the driver is just a little bit more consistency throughout the bag.
Love that. Cool. Project X Hazardous, black Gen 4 in there. Is it kind of like 65X profile, 6.5?
Pretty standard.
Okay, good. All right, let's
see what happens.
Let's see a few of this. You've got your workout for you today, kid. Shaun, quietly before you hit this one, what ball are you playing?
Left dash.
Left dash, love it. Is that an occasional miss for you?
Oh yeah, that's definitely
that's the miss.
That's the miss, and like I said, I'm all right with that. Obviously, that's a little bit too far to the right, but if that's my miss.
Like that flight.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, got our work cut out today.
A little flat cut, that's nice.
Okay, so let's start the fit here. Can I borrow your driver a second?
Certainly.
I want to kind of give your driver the best chance to sort of succeed in this case.
That closed a little bit.
Upright.
Upright.
I think it can have the appearance of being closed with
Sure.
the loft tilt more left, but yeah, let's see if we can protect you a little bit more from that right miss and just tighten those lines up a little bit. Because if you throw an odd miss at me like that, I know this setting can handle that,
Sure.
you know, a lot better. It's just a bit in the heel again.
Yeah. And that's my miss. It's
Yeah.
going to be a Healy
You
ball.
can see that a little bit from just even the tee markings and the sole. You can see the direction, the path, and where the strikes occur. A whistly driver, that, isn't it?
Mine did that.
I know. My backswing doesn't move fast enough to do it.
They'll get there.
Right in the downtown core, that one, from a strike perspective. Yeah, it shapes a lot on you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It kind of does move quite a bit, obviously path dependent. Now, do you play for that? Are you aiming down the left, you know, the left cut and working it back to the...
Yeah, usually it's the left side of the fairway,
Yeah.
guarding against it a little bit.
Okay.
But also my club plays a lot of left to right shot shape, so I can get away with it.
100%. Do you hit a lot of fairway woods? I know you've got an older fairway wood, 915.
915F and a 712U.
Okay.
It's about my 240 club. It's pretty good. That nice little cut to it, but it's a fairway finder.
Regardless of which driver we're looking at, I mean, I think that adjustment we made to your driver maybe made the dispersion a little bit more consistent. I think we got more ball speed out of that area of the golf club because we moved more mass behind the strike.
Yep.
So we kind of got a couple of miles an hour ball speed out of that, but launch and spin were still in the same window. Listen, I don't, you know, this is one thing for you guys watching a video like this. You've got a player like Shaun, great player, one handicapper, and, you know, you kind of look at a dispersion like this and think that, you know, oh, Shaun's got a right miss. But, you know, Shaun has a one-way miss or a one-way shot flight or one-way shot pattern. That's a great thing, not a bad thing. We're not seeing this miss kind of both ways. And, you know, we really want to emphasize that that's a trait in all great players, is that they don't have a wicked 40-yard miss either side of the middle of the fairway. Those are the people who don't know where to aim. You know, Shaun very much knows where to aim this thing and kind of what it's going to do. I think if we can tighten up those lines a little bit for him, I think that would be great. Yeah. But, you know, I think we're not in a bad spot by any means. No. Okay. Let's see what we've got for you, Shaun.
Sure.
All right, Shaun. So we've got a GT2 in your hands, 10C 1K orange. We've added a little bit more. So the GT heads are a little bit heavier than TSR heads are. 10C orange, Mikey, is obviously marketed as a counterbalance shaft. It's not really that counterbalance, though. It really isn't. And kind of my intention was this, not to actually give you, it's not about the counterbalance nature of this. Our demos play 45.5, your club is 45. So yours actually swing weight is at D1, this is swing weight at D3.5.
Right.
I actually like that for you, that there's maybe a little bit more head weight and mass. One of the things I find in fitting, Mike, and it's one of the things as fitters, obviously swing weight is of huge importance to us when we're in the fitting bay, and what we're giving you guys to try and obviously invoke a bit of a reaction in the delivery. So I think when the head feels too light, that's something where you can lose a little bit of dispersion.
Sure.
We talk a lot about that in fits, is if the head weight just isn't quite where the player wants, especially as a good player, your lack of awareness in transition is where that pattern can get a bit loose. So I'm really keen to get that swing weight up a little bit for you into that D3.5 region. And I think that could have a nice knock-on effect.
It's interesting. I've got a little bit of lead tape on a 975D head that I've got, and I like that hammer feel that it brings.
A little bit. I mean, you don't want to go too much, obviously, that can be detrimental, but you know, you keep it in that sort of nice window where it flows nicely throughout the bag, but I think that'd be good.
Perfect.
Okay, Shaun, so similar really to what yours was doing, no better at this point. So we're needing to show some kind of tangible improvements. GT2 actually, if anything, gave you a bigger miss to the right. So got to work within these heads a little bit just to try and get that sort of face to path correction. And obviously, what times when we do see that heel strike, that actually struck better. It was just a larger face to path discrepancy. That was the most open your face had got with that combination, and obviously a higher dynamic loft. Okay, we've got you in a Cobra Dark Speed LS. 8 degree, turned a little bit closed. You'll probably see the face sitting what looks to you a bit more left, less neutral than you're used to in your Titleist head. Let's see what this one does for you.
Perfect.
One thing to maybe just look at with your intent on the strike, try to stray a hair towards the toe a little bit in the next couple, just see how that works out. That's what we want.
That's a nice flight.
More of that. So just nice and tight. So it starts more on line and just bleeds a little to the right.
Yeah, that one felt good.
Love that. Love it.
Perfect.
Really nice. So for those of you watching and you've seen Shaun's numbers slightly change there in the path, we basically asked Shaun to aim a little bit more left, knowing that he's going to obviously cut this back in. And we'll do the same with your driver as well, Shaun, because I think, if we end up with a consistent strike pattern, consistent flight pattern, we may as well see if we get exactly the same out of the TSR. So it's not so much that that's a sort of worse delivery, or Shaun's came more, some people might call it over the top or sort of out to in, whatever you want to call it. It's more alignment driven than swing driven. It's still the same swing, just aiming a bit more left. Okay, one more with this one. How does it feel?
It's good. It's an interesting weight. I'm not gonna lie, the look of the head really throws me off. I don't know if it's the carbon crown or just the shape of it. It's something I'm not used to seeing. But the weight is really good.
It was a struggle for me with that one this year. It performs great every time I hit it. I struggle a bit with the look of it. It's not the worst miss. It's just missed a little high in the head.
Yeah, that was a really bad miss too. Like I just felt delivery-wise that was bad.
Yeah.
But the result's good.
The way they're making modern drivers, there's no meat in the upper part of the head, Shaun. So you can see that strike there. It actually wasn't that bad. But there's nothing there. You can hear how deflected that strike sounded. It sounded like a big miss hit. But it wasn't really, in all truth, that bad. Okay, one more, and then we're going to go into GT3. Okay, so I think we've kind of somewhat got in a better spot with the dispersion pattern. I think that alignment is probably more of you in the golf course rather than you missing it right all the time. It's just that you aim left and then you cut it back in, which is fantastic. Let's go slightly different direction here. So I think when we saw the strike pattern on that last one, so you bring it up there. So
A little more sporadic.
yeah, so more kind of all over the face, which tells me we had some things going in our favor, especially face to path relationship got really quite good there. But obviously the awareness of, or something, whether it's visually, the awareness of the feel of the club, something wasn't right because you weren't able to sort of pinpoint the strike location on the head the way you would and we would want you to. So let's move into the Cal AI Smoke Triple Diamond. And guys, we're playing with lower lofted heads here. We're actually playing with 8 degree in both the Dark Speed LS and the AI Smoke so that we can kind of close the head ever so slightly for Shaun. So we can play it around 9, but we have a lower starting loft. I think the launch conditions there look great, Mikey. And it's kind of got up nicely, spin stayed down, 3 bills on the fly. That's the money ball. So we talked about trying to locate strike location. You located the strike location well. Right, that's where the good, stable launch and spin comes from. Obviously, tremendous ball speed there, Shaun. That was all of the good stuff we wanted right there.
Yeah, it felt really good.
Ball speed is quick.
Nice.
So good. Is up, spin is down, speed is up.
The big thing here is just managing face angle, right? Something that Shaun can get that head to rotate a little bit, more efficiency. Anytime you can keep the path and face on the same, sort of moving in the same direction, or the face pointing in the same direction the club is moving, you always gain a lot of energy from that. If you get a bit of a glancing blow out of it, we lose so much.
For sure.
Absolutely
Nice.
tremendous. Like, you've went from somebody who looks like they're just like, I'm kind of hopeful this goes in the right direction, to somebody who could just stand there and just ping these down the left wing.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is it. This is, guys, club fitting is not the easiest thing in the world. You know, I think you guys have watched the channel for long enough, have realized there is a real art and science towards things like this, bringing in the strike location, and we can probably bring the previous club up that was kind of all over, where we had the Cobra head was just all over. Now, like, Shaun's peppering the middle of this like it's a pinpoint.
Easy, yeah.
Right on that crosshair.
Protect that
exactly
left
where we want
side
it.
now.
It's tremendous, really is. You know, and then you stray slightly high, and we saw with the Cobra, we lost the spin. Spin kept dipping down. Now we're still straying a bit high, but the spin on the AI Smart Face is keeping it really, really solid and consistent. I mean, it's just a tremendous set of number standard deviations, outrageous.
4 miles an hour extra in ball speed.
Yeah, yep.
And I don't even feel like I'm swinging it hard. It's just very comfortable, like lot in there still.
A big part of that is now the face and the path are just, they're so compliant with one another. I think that's a big part of this, is now you're not fighting where the face was. I think the previous setup you had at C1 and you kind of had the driver set up a little bit to fade, and just if you got a bit stuck on it, you couldn't really do anything but kind of block fade it.
Yeah.
This one looks like it's a real player's fade, I would call it. So something you can, as a player, stay on top of it, and you feel like you've got your body continuing to turn. You don't feel like you're tilting out of it where you sort of compromise the face angle and it loses it to the right. So that's a huge win. Anything stand out to you that is not what you like the feel of?
No, actually, it's a different driver shape. Visuals are a really big thing for me.
Yeah.
That's a big reason why I still play blades. But it looks good. The weight's really good. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's switch into GT3. I just think, you know, what we've got in that and what I can give you in this as well. I can maybe give you something pretty close to the numbers we got in this.
Sure.
GT3 being a much closer spec to the AI Smoke Triple Diamond. Nice.
A little overcutty, but
Yeah,
I
a
like
wee
that.
bit. Just shaping more than we would want. That's what I loved about that Callaway, Shaun. Just loved the start and fall line on it were really just so consistent. Not bad, but just get that kind of weakness at the end. It's just that Triple Diamond was just on a mission, wasn't it? It was just hit so well. Yeah, it's the strike as much as anything. Like, it's equally as consistent, but consistently in the wrong spot, not the right spot. Let's see if it was that shaft. Let's play with that.
Get the TB back in.
Yeah,
Shaft of all shafts.
I've been telling you that's a good one.
I know.
You don't
I
tend to
listen.
listen. Solid. A little down the left wing. I love that flight.
Take the nose.
Okay.
That feels like the best swing I've put on a ball all day.
Really good. Okay, let's play with the weight a little bit on that one. So we've got a couple that have went really good down that left side. Probably, well, in fact, very similar numbers to what we saw from the Callaway. I did have the weight setting in the Titleist in the H2 in the heel, so I've moved it back to the center. See if that just helps us a little bit with the gear effect. Again, though, I'm liking what we're seeing from the strike. We're getting great efficiency from it. There's good reason to think we could win quite well with this one. We've also got the face a bit more closed relative to what we had with TSR. So let's see what this one does. It's just, it likes it down that left side, this driver, doesn't it?
It does.
Which, for you, somebody who hits that nice cut, the only place you can't hit it is down the left side.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to steal that back. I'm going to go back to the Callaway. Let's go one more time, just see if we had what we needed.
For sure.
A little under that one.
Yeah, a little bit under, a little wipey.
Doesn't get super spinny though, which is
No.
good.
It's kept loads on it. I was kind of half thinking for a second they're turning the loft up 1 degree and just playing with the face angle a little bit. It's like that's the reason why we won't do that right there. Just because if we had that extra loft on that one, we wouldn't have got the nice sweet spot and launch and spin.
That strike was a little inward into the heel, but still worked out great.
It's like we have to, kind of like accept that at times we're gonna hit a couple of leaky ones that go a little bit, a little bit to the right or whatever. But
the launch and spin's in a great
such a good window. This driver.
Pretty good,
isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it
so consistent.
starts out like it looks like a miss, and then it goes 295 in the air.
Yeah.
Just buttoned right in the middle.
So good.
Okay, do me a favor, grab yours one more time. Let's sort of circle back. That whistle in the backswing.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's a great flight.
That is such a good flight.
Such a good flight. Money.
Boom.
As good as anything. Really good. So I think the change to your driver and also the change to the alignment and stuff like that, it's all kind of working quite nicely here, which is why I wanted to circle back to yours, get that strike obviously back where we like it.
And alignment's made a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference. I think just a little bit of kind of setup, to be honest, as much as anything else. Give me two more and then we'll go back to the Callaway.
The alignment, I've got more confidence in my swing right now than I did when we first started hitting them.
The biggest thing to me was you looked like you couldn't get open enough through the shot, and because you couldn't get your body to open up as much as you wanted, you would end up tilting. So you were kind of too square, and that's what I could sort of see from your movement pattern. As soon as you aim a bit more left, the body's preset a bit more open.
Yeah.
It's just that the club face can be more passive.
And that is whenever I'm having an issue, whether it be with a driver or irons, I get stuck on that left-hand side, can't turn through. And then usually what will happen is my shoulder will start coming up.
Good. So coming. Good. One more with this one, Shaun, and then we'll round two with Callaway.
Strike is just so much more centered, eh?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
That's a bit heely, but...
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely playable. Okay, good set. Let's, is that I got the Callaway. All right, one more set with the Callaway, the triple diamond. How good is that, Shaun?
That's pretty good.
How good is that?
304 on the fly.
A fraction lower in the heel, but good. Chance?
Come on. Come on.
Awfully good. So I think when it shakes out, I mean, look at how remarkably close that is spin.
Same.
Right, it's the same. Now, obviously, dispersion-wise, there was one with your Titleist that had a kind of bit of a leaky one kind of to the right. I think the Callaway was great for you, but thinking there's not really, I'd put my hat on, my club fitting hat, and go, what would I say to Shaun if he was in the bay today to buy a driver or come to get fit for a driver? Would I tell you to buy a driver and leave with a new driver? Probably wouldn't.
No.
Probably wouldn't. I'd probably tell you, what you've got is the equal in performance to kind of, I just think, configuring it slightly differently is good for you. New setting, going from C1 over to D2. So still in the lower loft setting, but shifted the lie angle to be slightly up. Went from A2 to H2. Standard to H2 in the weight settings. Gives us that little bit of corrective. I think Shaun's drivers.
Yeah, your TSR3 performs just as good as anything else.
And not in defence of us, but this is what we started with. Right? This is the way the tights walked in. So if you walked out and this is sort of what you brought us, like, would I be happy? That'd be over the moon with that 14 yards carry, a third of the standard deviation on spin, more speed, everything's good. Everything's a win. But when you start to really kind of turn the screw on your driver, and that's how good of a driver TSR was, we can sort of achieve the same thing. Again, standard deviation was great. All of it was good. So you win. You win. Club Fitting Roulette, you win.
Wow.
So I think that's fair enough.
Red 7, baby. Red 7.
Excellent.
Red 7.
The irony is you need no new clubs and you've got a credit with Club Champion to get some new ones. But you can obviously, I'm sure over time there'll be something that catches your eye and both of you.
I think we can find something.
I do too.
I think we do.
Good stuff. Okay, well, guys, I think that was as fair as we could have made that. Shaun is a great driver. We knew we would be up against it with that one, modifications and stuff like that. But I think that's the right outcome.
I love it.
Great stuff. Okay, guys, Club Fitting Roulette. You're in the casino. You can win, you can lose.
Yep.
Today, Shaun won. Fantastic to see. Really, really appreciate you making the big long drive. And hopefully, eager to see if you can get. Have you been a scratch golfer before, and just the circumstances have pushed you back up? Is that the way we're?
I was down to a plus 3.1.
3.1. Wow.
Yeah. I was playing a lot of golf right before I got married when I was working in junior hockey, and I had summers where I could play about 125 rounds a summer. So it's
really
life happens.
Love it. We'll hopefully get you back into the plus handicap status soon.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Shaun. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Really fun to do these fits and. Take a scenario like this with a great player like Shaun or any kind of player. We've had some really great candidates in the follower fitting series. So great to cap it off with this one with Shaun.
Definitely,
It's been
100%.
a real fun one. All right, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.